but it begins with an actual talkie talk on the telephone, a real conversation. His message machine gives his name, and he's definitely Doug. So the store's for sale on Facebook. He says, I'm an admin. Oh, you're an admin. I'm sorry. You're an admin in a Facebook group. Look at you.
Yeah.
Jesus. I love the Facebook groups. All right. I am calling yet again. Here we go for Doug. Come on, Doug. Did you subscribe? Now's where you do that.
Hello?
Doug.
Yes.
Hey, Doug. My name is Danny. I'm interested in potentially leasing from you here in lovely Irving, Texas. There's a coin laundromat over here.
I can take your info and get back with you if it doesn't go through, but it looks like it's going to go through.
What's going to go through? I'm confused. You have
We've got a lease
in
pending.
place? Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been signed, but it's in process. Everything's been agreed to.
Good for you. Well, not only am I curious, but also interested and intrigued, and you probably know, as I do, how these things work. Nothing's decided until you have that money in the bank. So let's get into second position. I will send you an email. What's your best email address? Easy enough. Got it the first time. I have a few laundromats myself, so I'm curious. What is the deal we would be looking at if we were able to flesh this out? What's the story? Is there key fees? What's the square footage, and what would the asking rate be?
Let's see here. Give me just a minute to look up. It's 6,000 something square feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big one.
How much of that is actually being utilized by washers, dryers, infrastructure, laundromat space?
I would say 80% probably. I've got some photos of it. I can send you.
Yeah,
if you want to text me your email address.
No, I've been in the store. I'm not calling you out of a phone book here. I didn't even know if you have it listed anywhere. So this is not your store. It sounds like you're a realtor.
Yeah, I represent the landlord.
Okay. So
let's see here. The laundry is 6,150 square feet, and the asking rent is 10,000 a month gross. It's a modified gross lease, so property expenses are in that number, and the tenant's responsible for utilities.
Of course. I'd love to have a laundromat where I wasn't.
For sure.
10K, I assume you are dealing with a tenant that has experience in the business?
Yeah, they have other locations.
Good. I can't help but try to steer you away from anyone that does not, especially at that lease rate. I mean, it's a big spot, but we would be looking closer to $1 a square foot, especially to begin. Are there any key fees that you're looking for if this deal falls apart? I want to know what I'm looking at.
What's a key fee?
Upfront money.
Oh, not until the lease is signed.
Okay, so you're talking about key fees, meaning you have an empty space. There's normally no key fees, but sometimes in laundries they want to charge us X amount of dollars, which I wouldn't pay. And you say not until the lease is signed. So you're talking about some form of deposit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a standard first and last month, first month prepaid rent, last month security deposit up front.
Right. All right. My name's Danny. My partner is Tom. We will send you an email. Let us know if anything falls apart. Or I'm always looking for stores. So Texas and or surrounding. I've got stores in 3 states. You can give me a holler and let me know. I'm after infrastructure only. I'm not looking to make a deal and buy somebody's failed laundromat. Doug, I appreciate you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks for the call.
Tom?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wow. Guy's a wet
Yep.
blanket.
Oh, yeah.
That was, I mean, just exciting.
Thrilling.
You know, the thought is, hey, we're going to get on the telephone and whip somebody into a frenzy, and it gets all exciting. But here's the reality, just chronologically, what's going on. You found this store on Facebook Marketplace, right? And you
Right.
hadn't physically scouted it until you found it that way, right? That was the timeline.
Correct.
Is the store currently opened?
No, he's locked out. He got locked out on the 16th, May 16th.
So the tenant was locked out.
So what happened was the
A month
tenant
ago.
tried to sell the business.
Yeah.
The tenant tried to sell the business. The person who was planning on buying it went to the landlord to negotiate a lease, and that's when they looked into his lease term and realized that he was months behind on rent. And then they said, "Screw it, let's lock him out." And that's what happened.
How do you know this information? How did you gather that information specifically?
I talked to the previous operator.
You spoke to the guy.
Correct.
Now, I myself have done that many times. There's always a different methodology. There's rolling up to the store. That's the easiest way. And there's some poor bastard working in their laundromat. It makes me kind of sick. Not that it's not a salt of the earth thing, but most people don't understand, trading your time for money. That's the easiest way. You strike up a conversation. They're normally in a big hurry. They don't want to talk to you, even though they don't have anything to do but read their Time magazine or wait for laundry to come in. So how did you happen upon that conversation? I'm intrigued how you found this guy.
His son sent me a message. This is an old guy. He doesn't even have anything on the internet, no social media. So his son messaged me and gave me the details and told me to call his dad for more information.
All right, but you're killing me.
I called him.
So how did his son didn't just wake up one morning and send you an email? How did that we're going back even further. How did that start?
Yeah. I'm an admin in a Facebook group, and I saw the post before it. Have to approve it first. So it came to me first, and then I didn't approve it. I sent him a message immediately, asking for details. And that's when he sent it to me.
So you're an admin in a Facebook group about laundromats for sale?
Buying and selling laundromats.
Okay,
yeah.
Buying and selling. You're one of how many admins?
2 or 3.
How did you, and you don't have a laundromat currently?
No.
Okay. So how did you worm your way into being admin in a laundry group?
There's a lot of scammers on the websites, of course. So they're just looking for people to approve posts and decline them and accept numbers and whatnot.
Nice. You don't have to bullshit anybody. You just said, yeah, I'll be an admin.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't trust people enough. I don't have any admins on. I mean, I don't have huge groups either, but I don't have any admins. I'm the only one that's looking over it. So you're an admin in a Facebook group that's about buying and selling laundries, and that's pretty sharp, I guess, if you have
Yeah.
the inclination to dick around like that. And that's not specific just to Texas, I assume, right?
No, all over the U.S., like 50,000 members.
So you found you see this spot coming in, and it raises a red flag, as here it is in Texas, and then the guy who's an elderly man is trying to sell the laundromat. This is the story that we've heard so many times, and I'm wondering where I shuffle into this, if you don't mind, because were you doing the Facebook look and the trying to find a store and going that far as being an admin before you found me, or after, or during?
No, after I became a student, a client of yours, I figured I might as well get on there and, first come, first serve.
Yeah,
I
good for you.
get a peek of everything first. Yeah.
Well, everything that happens to be for sale, and in my opinion, it's because they are failing. And you're probably seeing the same thing. Are you seeing any laundromats in there that you think, oh my God, this is a great buy, I should grab it?
No, there's one that hasn't even been opened yet, and they're already trying to get 1.5 million for it.
But
Yeah.
you understand that, right? They're trying to make money selling a laundromat, not running a laundromat.
Exactly.
This is 98.746% insanity on one side of this fence, where everyone's over there saying, I'm going to buy a laundromat.
Mm-hmm.
And I
even drove by that one, and the guy who's doing the build out, it's an Indian guy. I said, oh, when are you guys opening? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe when we find a buyer. I'm like, oh, okay. I already knew the store was for sale. That's where I got the information from.
Right
But,
in my
they don't even
course.
plan on opening.
Right
place.
in my
Yeah.
course, I say it. They will build
no
a store.
plans.
They will never open the doors, because the second that they open the doors, they've got to show revenue.
Exactly.
Now, don't forget, this is a fantastic business. This business has made me and many others millionaires many times over, but you have to start it properly.
Right.
I'm not preaching, but screaming from every mountaintop I can find, every platform, without spending money. You see, then there's the other folk that are solidly on that fence, screaming down at those 98% of people, oh, go buy one and let me teach you how to do it the best way. Please.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah.
And many of them, it's because they did it. Or if you look at their real, actual, true story from these influencers, well, I bought my first store and it was a horrible train wreck. So let me teach you how to get past that first store into the second one. Well, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Now, to this specific location, to drill it down, it was for sale for how much? What was the sale price?
125,000, and he told me it was worth at least 500,000.
Oh my God. This is the guy's son. And the guy's son is, I assume, an adult person.
Yeah, he wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, at one point, your spidey sense is tingling, the hair on the back of your neck is standing up, and at some point you want to say, well, kid, 40-year-old kid or whatever he is, why don't you go run the business if it's so great? And then crickets. Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
As humans, we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to actually say that thing.
Mm-hmm.
The closest most of us get to that is like buying a car. You go in and it's kind of weird, and you don't know the guy, and he smells of odd cologne and patchouli sauce, and you're like, all right, I gotta pretend to be your friend, and I just want to buy this car, and I just want to get out of here. And if you can actually say certain words and understand, it's not special, it's not magic. Hey, man, if I wasn't here right now, you wouldn't have a potential sale. So let's make it a real sale. I'm going to buy the car, but I just want to give you $500 more than the dealership is in it for. I don't care if it's used or new. How could they say no?
Sure.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to zap you for $5,000. You go, all right, bye.
Uh-huh.
But people don't know how to say those words. They assume there's going to be a fight. They assume there's going to be an argument. And you're here dealing with this kid who doesn't want to deal with the business, who doesn't want to run the business. And it's this odd, somewhere in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I want a laundromat, period. I want a laundromat. All the people on that Facebook group, 50,000 people, many of them probably inactive. I want a laundromat. Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. What percentage of laundromats are in leased space? I don't know. No one knows. Most. I'd say that's a fair estimate. Most laundromats exist in leased space. You don't own the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's the model. The people that are making money in the stores, that are doing well, that are earning a hefty profit every month, they take cash, put it in the bank, pay the bills, end up with a little less cash, but plenty of it. That's the model. Those people aren't going to sell the store. They're not going to put it up for sale. They're not going to be interested in it. They're going to stay with their lease. They're going to pay the rent on time. They're going to stay friends with the landlord, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to go after more stores. There's tons of people like that. Most of them are quietly doing the thing that I did, quietly. Or they have a couple of stores and they're really seriously a business broker and they want to teach you how to buy a laundromat.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's talk about our friend Doug, the wet blanket, Mr. Boring. We tried reaching, it's not too bad, right? We tried to reach out to him, a month ago? No, a couple weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2-3 weeks.
And I don't hear that, Tom, I don't hear in you that sigh like, oh, we missed it. Oh.
No. I mean, this weekend I went over, well, not this weekend, a few days ago, I went over to a buddy's store. He just bought a building for about $2.5 million here in Dallas, just for the laundromat. You know, he bought the entire strip just so he could take over the laundromat. And he's been open for about 3 months, and he was showing me his sales reports. For the since they retooled, and it wasn't looking too good. So, I already know, what we need to be at to be successful. Now that I'm seeing, these real numbers in the beginning. If we're paying $10,000 a month for this 6,000 square foot spot, it's just not going to work. So I already know where we need to be at.
Well,
and this guy bought the building.
It's 6,000 square feet. Okay. $6,000 is a lot of money for rent. It freaks people out. You've heard me say famously, people get scared because they live in an apartment or a rented house. I'm not talking about ownership, or they do. They own their home, right? The bank owns it.
Uh-huh.
And their gas bill is $70 a month. Their electric bill is $150 in a bad month. So when they hear about a $3,000 a month gas bill, oh my God. Without that gas bill, you're not making any money. This is the cost of doing business, and not the bad cost. Not 7-Eleven, hey, someone steals a 6-pack of beer, let them go. That's been the policy forever, because your life as an employee isn't worth a 6-pack of beer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want consumers chasing people down. It goes for viral video, but it's not really what 7-Eleven wants, Circle K. That corporation wants to sell 1 million 6-packs and every 10th one walks out for free. It's breakage. It's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
We're not losing money on that gas bill. We're earning. You know what I say. No one puts a dime or a quarter in a washer for 30 days. Your gas bill is nothing, and that is not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
This gentleman who's trying to sell this laundromat for $125,000, who couldn't even pay his rent, he probably bought the place for X, right? We need to go back.
You know
what
he bought it from a distributor. No, he bought it from a distributor back in 2004.
The kid isn't going to tell you what he paid.
No.
If he bought it from a laundromat distributor, that means that he paid essentially retail, not knowing. Okay, is the sum of the parts the real value of a business? No. There happens to be 35, well, in here it's 6,000 square feet. There's 110 washing machines that are each worth $1,000 brand new, and I'm exaggerating the numbers. Up, down, good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. It's fast math. That has nothing to do with the net or gross value of the business. Nothing, because businesses are based on profit. The sale and purchase of businesses are based on profit. But the potential, again, goes back to the people that want a laundromat and they think, I'm going to be different than this angry old man that's in there with a broom shaking people away, pushing children into the broom closet. No, no, no. You're not going to be any better or different. The only way you'll be better or different is using, I don't want to say my policies, but intelligent policies where you won't be working in the place. How can you possibly own 2 stores if you work in 1? You can't. 10.
Right.
Working in 3. You can't. You want to be a barber? Probably not. I don't think most barbers, they want a job. You want to own a string of supercuts? It's a little different. Proud to own a string of supercuts. All right, now we're getting into the weeds. This particular guy lost his business, not to us. Oh, it's a shady way to do it. I'm supposed to give this guy $125,000 because it's worth $500,000. Okay, yeah, right. And then negotiate. It doesn't sound to me like there were key fees. It was $10,000 a month. Oh, I thought he wanted $7,500 a month for the first 2 years. Where'd you get that information?
That's what the previous operator told me.
He lied.
Yeah.
He was saying there was going to be escalations that started at $7,500. And dude, I asked what I needed to know. Doug tells us they own laundromats. Because if he said no, they have no experience, I'm going to say, come on. It doesn't sound like our friend Doug is a laundromat broker. He's not the laundromat guy. He works for the realtor and probably others. So the moral of the story is you dodged a bullet. Oh, it's only $125,000. When you're on that Facebook group as an admin, don't you want to scream at the, I guess it's caveat emptor, right?
Right.
That's French for fuck them all. You're in there culling proper information and watching people. And I assume you're seeing what I see on those Facebook groups, folks. Hey, congratulate us. We finally got our laundry. And they've got the photographs. Right. You were saying.
Yeah. No, that's what it is.
6 months later, the same people are on that same Facebook forum. Does anyone know a good business broker?
Right.
Can't pay the rent. Can't pay the utility bills. Now, turning the frown upside down, when you don't end up in debt from day one, when you are not beholden to the previous operator giving him every penny you've ever saved, when you start with a simple lease, putting pen to paper, your signature has that value. It will happen for you, Tom. We just need to keep going.
Oh, no doubt.
And this store, what's the equipment look like? Dog shit?
Oh, it's trash. Yeah, it's garbage. I don't think he told it since he bought the place. In fact, I think that's what he told me.
He's got about 10% of the gumballs in the gumball machine, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, he's selling Pringles. Handwritten sign, Pringles, $2. So he gets stale Pringles at the dollar store. That also is very telling because that's not like an honor box. Those are just sitting out there. So I assume when he closes, he shuts the doors, and he goes home.
No, actually, I don't think I even put this in the notes. He had a tenant there. I mean, not a tenant. He had an attendant there, and so he was only going every 2 weeks. He had an attendant there for about a year, and then about a month prior to the store closing, he said that he went to the store at 4 o'clock and the store was locked up, and he went next door to the barber shop and asked the barber shop, "Why is the store closed?" And the barber shop told him the store closes at 4 every day. And he was like, "What?" And so he's been paying this attendant the whole time to be there from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And the guy's shutting the doors at 4 o'clock.
Sorry to laugh.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, there's no cameras in the store, so he can't get on his phone and see what's going on.
I'll bet there's a sign that says, "Smile, you're on camera."
Oh, I'm sure.
It's crazy, dude. I mean, don't buy the store. Sign a good lease, an exquisite lease, easy enough. Retool the store using other people's money. You can retool a store for the price of a decent SUV. Make money. None of this is difficult. Rinse, repeat, do it again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're doing here. We're going to send our friend Doug an email. You're going to keep a close physical eye on it. And go out and find some more stores for us to call.
There's plenty.
Keep your ear on the Facebook group and yeah.
Yes,
I don't get that vibe from you where gee whiz, I wonder. I'm not going to ask the guy, well, when did you make a deal with this other person? Just so I can cry about how we missed it. Miss anything?
No, we didn't miss anything.
No. All right, get after it. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Bye. Now on to you, children. Children of the corns. Jump on and ask some queries. I am here to help. Wade says, Facebook Marketplace, the best way to sell any business. Yeah. I have videos on the channel titled exactly that. Facebook Marketplace, this, that, and the other. Because, I don't want to hire a professional realtor. I want to go put it on Craigslist and sell the business. The one thing you won't do is put yourself in front of that buyer because you yourself don't want to lie about all of the things. Hey, let me see your books. You know what a P&L is? The profit and loss statement. Immediately. If you've joined my newsletter, which is free, the first newsletter that I send out, freelaundromat.com newsletter, it discusses the sale of these businesses and the big lie, which is, oh, it's a cash business. I don't want the IRS to know what I earn, so I don't deposit everything in the bank. And the buyer buys the bullshit. They believe it. They want to believe it because they want a laundromat. These aren't professional con men. These are hardworking people that tried to make money in a business, but the inception of their thought process was that this business was picking up gold out of the streets. You'll never hear me say that. Absentee, turnkey, I'll buy them all. It's a phenomenal business if you start the right way. Oh, we don't deposit the money in the bank, so there's no way for me to show you what I really make. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Show me your books. I'm not going to give you the whole gist with a G. The newsletter's free. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll see. The story involves an Italian gangster. Stacy says, good afternoon. Hello, Stacy. Danny, when are you buying your ex-laundry? I don't buy laundromats. Get with it. Nor should anyone. Renzi, thanks for all you do, Danny. Well, thank you, Renzi, for saying that. Those two little words. Sometimes we take them for granted, right? You're welcome. Two more words. 10,000 a month lease for 30. No, it's not 3,500 square feet. It's huge. Where do you buy your shirts? I got this for Father's Day. How do you run your 30 laundromats daily pass from out of state? Good Lord, Roy. Systems. You must have systems. How does Papa John's build not one, but hundreds of pizza joints? Systems. None of it's a secret. I talked about it on this call. You can't run two laundromats if you work in one. So how can you run 36? You can't. Systems. Zach, didn't you say you bought land? What are you doing with all your land? Yeah, I have 107 acres, northern Arizona, 7,000 foot above sea level. Off-grid. What are we doing? Private shooting range, private family compound. It is for us, not for you. Everyone thinks, well, you bought a thing, you're doing a business. Well, the IRS, yeah, we're doing a business. Everything that we buy that goes up, heavy equipment, four-wheelers, motorcycles, Humvees. My daughter and I are competitive shooters, so I'm sick and tired of public and even private ranges. So we're doing that. Renzi says, get machines with cards. 3, 2, 1. Danny blows a gasket, jumps through the YouTube machine, and chokes you till you like it. Like a good Navy man. I don't know that Navy guys would choke you. Yeah. And that's another inside baseball thing. Everyone that does not frequent a laundromat thinks that they know how to run one better, and that's how they fail. They spend an extra $90,000 on a system that they don't need and that the consumer doesn't want. Oof. Hey, Danny, can you discuss your experience with landlords in Ontario, Canada? Yeah, there's things on here. People on here. Wade here. Canada's all the same. Speak English, some of them French. It's the same. I have videos doing it. How many of your laundromats were completely $0 out of pocket to open? Roy, you're asking a lot of specifics about me, and as much as I love that, I'm quite an introvert. As much as I love that, this is more about you. And for those of us who have done this and are doing it over and over, it becomes a bit of a game where you won't spend anything. I know that it's possible you don't. You shouldn't spend anything. Dude, if you live in an apartment and you have a horrible job and you can't pay attention, let's be serious. right? But if you know, even having those conditions in your life, that you can do this, then why not put one foot in front of the other and do it? Like my clients that you hear on this channel that are taking care of their children for a living, not all females, that are swinging a hammer for a living and still doing this. What's your excuse? Your fear, the monster under the bed, is what money that you think you need. That's what stops people from doing anything. That fear, whatever that fear is. What brand of watch do you wear? Depends on the day of the week. Questions all over the place. Would you speak more on retooling for the price of a decent SUV? No, I think I already did. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, thumbs up. Thanks, Mark. What's the best color for the washers and dryers? How about stainless steel? Zach, you're obviously new here, bud. Zach wants to sort of pretend to ask questions that are really going to, I guess, get everybody's juices flowing. Danny's right. I already have one store working on 2, 3, 4. Yes, Canada. Roy, Laundromats recession proof. Do you feel we're in one, heading into one? If so, any effect on your method? No, there's no effect, Roy. X amount of human people are going to go use a laundromat no matter what. It's a captive audience. These folks would rather have a washer dryer in their additional room off their garage, but they don't have a garage or an additional room or a washer dryer. So they go to the laundromat. Zach and Wade, Zach and Roy are probably expecting me to say, well, that's in my course, but I don't do that. I'm disgusted by people that simply say, go get my course. That question will be answered there, Roy. But I'm reiterating answers to the questions that are being answered not only in short form, but in very long form that you need to know. Like, would you let third parties place vending machines in your laundromat? Somebody help me out that's seen the course. Screaming from that mountaintop. Bought your course, Roy says, going through it. Thanks for the answers. I own a bunch of resident and all commercial, all bought with nearly none of my own money. Creative financing, so love your strategy. Good, Roy. Good man. Next time I see you on the lives here, you will probably you will have all of the answers to the rudimentary questions, and we'll get into some deeper baseball stuff. Do you need a good credit history to get a retooled? What's happening? I know. Johnny, you're busy watching TikTok and looking at chicks in bikinis. Stop wasting your time doing that and watch the videos that have the same titles on my very channel. No, your monster under the bed is your credit score. Number one, you're an adult person. Fix your credit. Number two, it doesn't take good credit to do this. That's what's keeping you from doing it. Jose, from a vending guy, give it away. There you go. Chris, I have the course and have had some issues with the distributors. I'm not new to the business. I am not new to the business. Okay, I'm confused, Chris. I have the course and have had some issues with distributors. I'm not new to the business. Let's start with this. I own Laundromats, this many, or whatever the thing is. Okay. I'm not sure if that's a question or you're trying to just tell us stuff and things. I don't know. Changes colors. Changes colors. Can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you, the folks that are on here, that are listening in their ear while they're grocery shopping, or hoping the boss doesn't come around the corner because they're supposed to be filling out those TPS reports. But I'm a man of action. I prefer that my people are in that boat. Do something. Not tomorrow, not next week. Tomorrow never comes. You want to make money? You want to have serious, substantial wealth for your grandkids? Own the business, whatever that business is. If you're buying someone else's business, you better ask yourself why the hell they're selling. If their method of profit is the sale of that business, that's like buying a flipped house, not to live in, but to flip your damn self. Doesn't make sense. Thank you are the words. Much appreciated. 40 people. All of you go immediately. I'm going to end the live. Don't go away. Sub. Look, I watch people drop off. Well, he says he's going to go. I got other TikToks to look at. Go over to the real comments. Roy, you better be there. Chris, calling you all out by name. Cruise over to the real comments in the real video, not here, not in the top chat. 2 words. Thank you. Yale is from Chicago. I know that. Went through the sleazy sales experience. Never again. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Chris is back. I've had run-ins with distributors who seem to make the purchase process difficult. Maybe I'm getting newer reps with minimal training. I'm looking to retool 2 locations at the moment. Chris, you have 2 locations you are looking to retool that you have in leased space. We need to get on the phone. I make that pretty simple. If you're in the course, hit the little button. And I'm saying this to you. You and I need to chop it up. Don't try to do what you are doing by jumping into the top chat in a live YouTube video. Get my cell phone number. I'm an idiot. I'll give you my number for a couple bucks and you have it forever. Text me at 3 o'clock in the morning. No problem. Word for word, Danny speaks the truth. Thank you, Yale. Well, there's no time for any bullshit. Please, you don't have the time for that. I certainly don't. I don't want to have to try to keep track of the lies that I told yesterday or the day before. So always speak the truth. And if I don't know the answer to something, you'll hear exactly that. Don't know. Stacy, I'm learning the ins and outs of setting up an LLC. Lots to learn there. No, there's not. Good God. LegalZoom.com. Give them $99. I'm sure there's a guy on YouTube that's probably entertaining with funny t-shirts that talks to you about LLCs, but learning tax benefits, whether or not it's actually limiting your liability for anything, any asset or liability that you have needs an LLC surrounding it and protecting you. It's that simple. Personally, $20. I give my accountant $20 for every LLC. You buy a golf cart, get an LLC. Cruise over to the comments right now. Thank you